OM System OM-5 Review. The OM System OM-5 may bring useful computational features to the outgoing Olympus OM-5 Mark III, but its lack of body improvements and higher cost doesn't make the cost worthwhile. The OM System has put its own spin on the Olympus OM-5 series by swapping out the old label with new OM System branding and upgrading the image processor for faster response and more features. It's an attractive camera, specifically for those who prefer retro tech, and its weather protection is an added bonus for those photographing outdoors. Even so, we're recommending it mainly to individuals already invested in the Micro Four Thirds system, as it cannot match up to the performance of the Canon EOS R7, and there are many excellent choices around this price range. The exterior of the OM camera resembles 70s film cameras, but instead of going with a retro control scheme, like the Fujifilm X-T32 or the Nikon ZFC, it opts for a standard PASM dial to set exposure modes. The front and rear command dials allow you to adjust shutter speed and aperture respectively. The design of the upper surface is well crafted. The mode dial doesn't obstruct either command dial, and it is great to have the drive self-timer button on the left edge. The F button takes up a corner but can still be tracked by feeling via touch. Similarly, the record button is just behind it. Additionally, it is useful that most of the buttons on the camera can be customized to do alternative tasks. The rear controls, in particular the directional pad, were not quite up to my expectations. It's slightly undersized, and I was unable to get it to launch the on-screen settings menu when wearing knitted gloves, as I kept accidentally pressing one of the directional buttons at the same time. Generally speaking, the controls appear slightly outdated for a camera at this price point. The OM-5 doesn't possess the smart subject identification focus system like the OM-1, so manually adjusting the region of focus is mandatory. For a long time, focus control joysticks were exclusive to superior cameras. Currently, they are anticipated as standard on enthusiast models and have also begun to be included in mid-level entries such as the Canon EOS R10. The menus are somewhat antiquated. The OM-5 employs the same user interface as the OM-5 Mark III, not the revised version unveiled at the beginning of this year on the OM-1. It is unfortunate that the OM-1 plainly has improved readability and navigation due to its incorporation of larger typefaces and coloring along with the top-tabbed organization page. By contrast, the OM-5 menus are presented in one color with side navigation, which can be quite daunting for beginners, whilst experienced Olympus system proprietors could find it familiar. The OM-5 has the same autofocus system as the OM-5 Mark III and does not gain any of the animal vehicle detection features that the OM-1 offers. While it can still recognize people and focus on faces' eyes, these are pretty much considered standard features for cameras with interchangeable lenses. As far as picture quality goes, the OM-5 is on par with the OM-5 Mark III. Both cameras feature a 20MP Micro Four Thirds sensor plus 5-axis stabilization. The OM-5's processor has been upgraded to TruePic and there appears to be no JPG quality difference between them. However, some features the latest OM-5 lacked are present in the OM-8. A 50MP multi-shot mode allows for handheld shooting, and Live ND permits long exposure photography without needing an ND filter on the lens. The OM-5 may not be a cinematic quality video camera, but it still provides good quality 4K footage at 24, 25, or 30 fps and can deliver 1080p at up to 60 fps with sound or silent 120 fps slow motion. This makes it a great choice for vlogging or family trips. The OM-5 doesn't do much differently. It's not totally an updated camera, but rather more like Mark 3.5. The most noteworthy improvement is a more potent image stabilizer which provides support for several computational features, along with a larger buffer for quick capture. Similar to the older OM-5 Mark III, the OM-5 succeeds in numerous ways. This is a camera that can be used in volatile weather conditions and carried around without having to attach it to a tripod. The availability of a handheld 50MP photo mode plus Live ND enhances its function even more. Unfortunately, OM made little to no effort to modernize certain features. The EVF does not compare to cameras such as the Nikon Z50 or Panasonic GH5 II that are reasonably priced or more high-end respectively. Also, we have qualms about championing a 2022 model that relies on micro USB ports. The menu system is dissimilar from the OM-1's is also disappointing.